There, I think. Okay, yes. All right. I think it's recording now. Hello. Hello, yes. Hello, worldwide computer net. It is I, Librarian Barnacle, recording on tape from the Barnacle Library. Yes, I named it after myself. There's nothing you can do about it. And side note, if you happen to receive any emails about a petition to change the name back to Liberty Library, you can just ignore that completely. Uh, of course, with me as always is my trusty English bulldog, Joe. How are you, Joe? Good, excellent, yes. Well, it seems the fine folks at 826LA have once again asked me to read to the youth. And since April is National Poetry Month, I figured I would read some poems to you. One poet in particular, in fact, that I think you kids would really enjoy. A poet by the name of Henry David Thoreau. Yes, 19th century American essayists. The king of isolation, really. And I couldn't find any of his books here in the library, so I asked my nephew to email me some of his poems. Let me just fire up the modem here so I can check that electronic email. Technology is a marvel, it really is. Oh, it's music to my ears.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You've got mail.
Ah, excellent. Let's see here. Yes, I've received the electronic email from my nephew. Let's see. The first Henry David Thoreau poem I'll be reading to you is one called Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout Would Not Take the Garbage Out. I don't recognize this one. Must be one of his earlier works. Let me see. Here we go. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams, and though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the window and blocked the door, with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal. Getting hungry. Pizza crusts with withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black burned buttery toast, grisly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall, it raised the roof, it broke the wall, greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard. Good mix. Cold French fried and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that it finally touched the sky, and all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally, Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But, then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. That was a strange one. I didn't know Thoreau was such an aficionado for trash. Well, now poems don't always have to be long like that. They can be short too. Yes, here's a short one from Thoreau titled Pancake? That's really the title. It's the question mark at the end. Pancake? Here we go. Who wants a pancake, sweet and piping hot? Good little Grace looks up and says, I'll take the one on the top. Who else wants a pancake, fresh off the griddle? Terrible Teresa smiles and says, I'll take the one in the middle. So, yes, another strange one. Never heard of that one either, but, let's see. Ah, yes, here's one that seems right up my alley. It's called Mr. Grumpledump's Song. Let's see. Everything's wrong. Days are too long. Sunshine's too hot. Wind is too strong. Clouds are too fluffy. Grass is too green. Ground is too dusty. Sheets are too clean. Stars are too twinkly. Moon is too high. Water's too drippy. Sand is too dry. Rocks are too heavy. Feathers too light. Kids are too noisy. Shoes are too tight. Folks are too happy, singing their songs. Why can't they see it? Everything's wrong. Yes. Now that's a poem I can relate to. Of course, all of these are poems written by the legendary... What? Shel Silverstein? What? Who in the world is Shel Silverstein? Oh, that nephew of mine tricked me. Well, it seems I won't get to read some quality poetry to you today after all, but I would recommend trying to read some poetry yourself this month, or asking an adult to read some poetry to you. But be sure to avoid silly poems from poets like Shel Silverstein and Roald Dahl and yes, Dr. Seuss, whom I suspect is not a real doctor after all. Just my personal opinion. Well, until next time, this is Librarian Barnacle saying good day.